Good afternoon, James. How are you today?
Paul, very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good. Yes, not too bad. Been a while.
Yeah.
We've seen each other a couple of times actually recently. But it's good to see Sunx is doing so well in the industry. Today, I just wanted to sort of take this opportunity just to have a catch up, and obviously we've been talking about some other things of what we're doing in the business, but I'll let you talk about that. So tell us, what's the latest on Sunx, what you've been doing recently?
Well, we've been trying to add to our range of energy saving offerings. So not just the window films that we've been traditionally fitting to help reduce overheating in the summer and air conditioning costs, but also to help our existing client base to try and manage their energy portfolios a bit more, help them reduce their costs and carbon through other measures, as well as the ones that we've been providing for the last 30, 40, 50 years. So we're looking to try and help them just with quite simply with their bills, to help reduce their costs, but also to bring in some other technologies to help them reduce their usage. For example, making gas boilers more efficient, and then bringing in some other external advisors as and when we can find opportunities for them.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because you've spent, as you say, 30 years developing strong like and trust relationships with these organisations. Why not now expand that and start working with other technologies? Because if you imagine you've installed this system, it's got a life cycle for many years. They've got to know you, because you do go back and do maintenance on these systems, don't you?
Yes, and the life cycle replacements. There's quite a few buildings that I've seen at least 3 cycles of replacements. So and particularly with the sites that are got lots of different buildings and lots of large rooms in each building, there's just a continual sort of ongoing cycle to replace. But we can add in some extra measures for them to help them even further, then all the better for everyone involved, really.
Do you find organisations have the appetite to do that based on, they've got that relationship with you? Do they worry, well, first of all, do they worry that, your expertise is in there, why are you doing this? Or do they feel comfortable with the fact that you are able to pivot? I like the word pivot.
Yes, that's a good word. Certainly the more long-standing clients we've built out relationships with for so many decades. For example, we only used to do window films, but then some 30 years ago we started doing roller blinds as well. Because it made sense. We're working on the same windows. It's the same, and the windows need films and blinds quite often in the same window, so it was a natural fit. And this is just an extension of that, really. So hopefully
you're dealing with the same people, aren't you?
Yeah. It might be a slightly different person within the organisation, but it will be someone that the people that we work with will know very well, and the name will hopefully transfer quite easily with the trust that we built up.
And how are you finding the transition yourself? Because you're having to learn these different things. I'm sure you've been networking for many years, so you probably know a lot of people, and you've probably heard their stories anyway. So you're probably on top of that side because you've been in buildings, haven't you?
Yes, it is quite daunting taking steps in slightly different directions, but it's all a learning curve.
Just while you're talking, when you went from window film to window blinds, was there still a daunting step to take because it's outside a window to inside a window?
Yes, we basically, this is even before my time at the company, even though I've been there nearly 30 years, it was starting out as just buying in the ready-made blinds, but within a year the company realised we could actually make these ourselves, cut out the middleman, keep the costs down, and give a better value proposition for the clients, and have everything made and fitted by the same people. You're on top of the quality and the from start to finish, from manufacture to installation. So it's made perfect sense.
And I noticed today, I see your bag. Where's the warrant today? Because I know you got that big sign. The last time I interviewed you had that big sign, didn't you?
Yes, we had our Royal Warrants renewed for the King, Majesty the King, over the winter. So we had 20 years with the Queen, and there was a 2-year renewal process for everybody that had the Royal Warrant had to reapply.
Right.
Once the Queen had passed, it took them a long time to go through everybody's documentation.
Yeah.
But we were successful when a lot of companies weren't, which now includes a very, very heavy sustainability criteria, which I was very, very hot on. That's what a lot of companies fell foul of, not the quality of their work, but their all the boxes they tick with where all their products and
even down to the transport, wasn't it?
Your own carbon emissions. It's quite an involved process. So we're very pleased to have that renewed for another few years.
Did they go into the extent of your scope 3? Was that the focus?
It does involve the supply chain as well as our own. So, for example, we have to provide evidence particularly for like cotton and timber materials, that they're from sustainable sources. There's no child labour involved in the production of the cotton where it's grown. So it was quite far-reaching.
Yeah. It's interesting to know. And then for the future, you're just building that. You're going to be covering heating, cooling, lighting, power, energy management, water, which is all the aspects that we've been talking about today, isn't it? Regarding how do we do that? What's the process? I'm quite excited that you're taking those steps. So obviously we've set our training platforms and our processes to support that. We've been successful doing that, and I think that's quite a bold thing for you to do. And I'm looking forward to see how that sort of comes as a result, really. Because it's good to see that organisations are doing that. And you've built the like and trust, so now taking it to the next level. I think it's great.
Yeah. We're starting to see a bit more traction, and the sort of larger organisations to actually get their houses in order with this side of things. It's taken them a while, but they've obviously got their own sustainability targets, which they're getting ever closer to the dates when they need to get processes implemented by, so we can hopefully help them on that journey.
Brilliant. Well, we're wishing you all the well with it. Well, I'm just going to ask one question, because I'd like to see if we can give something back here. Is there any advice you can give to organisations that might be listening to this today, that what they could be doing? Have you learned anything today that you could share today?
Yes, just to get to bring in the experts for the advice that I need, just to get everything all in one place, so it's going to be easily manageable. To review all their utility supplies, all their meters, make sure everything is accurate and functioning as it should be, and then have a report produced to show them where they're doing perfectly well, where they need to improve, and help them identify that.
The experts that you're working with, what you need to do is, obviously you've built the like and trust with that organisation. They're confident with you because of XYZ. You've got to make sure you've got back-to-back confidence with these other experts behind you, because if there's any missing gaps, obviously you've got your reputation to be thinking about at every stage. So there's that to consider.
Yep.
And we're going to go through that with you later today anyway. So James, we wish you all the best with this project.
Thank you.
We are here to support you as always. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. And thanks to the B2B Energy Network and everyone involved in it.
Thank you.